A couple of weeks ago, and I hadn't been seeing anybody for ages because of COVID and because of my immunity or lack of. Anyway, so the tutors came around and, we sat outside under the willow tree. They gave me this book, which is filled with pictures and beautiful comments and gratitude and the impact of practical philosophy on their lives. And, then everybody spoke. And, we were talking about freedom before. It's very nice to have people say, I'm so grateful to you, you transformed my life, you saved my marriage, my relationship with my children, all that. And you accept it graciously. I used to, first of all, in the old days, find it difficult to accept compliments. I would say, oh no, that was nothing, and so on. But now you accept it because it's important to let people speak. But again, there's no attachment to it. It's not like, oh, I did a good job, well done me, kind of thing. And there's a funny story about this. They say this couple went to visit this garden, which was beautiful, and they were so impressed. They said, we need to meet the gardener. So the gardener comes along and they thank him and they say, this is extraordinary. And we've never seen a garden this beautiful and you're a genius and everything. And the man says, it wasn't me. It was the absolute. So they jokingly say, well, will you please pass our compliments to the absolute? And he says, yes, but you don't know what a mess he was in before I came along. So in the end, people can take it back again on their egos. But thank God now, it was lovely that these people came and they've said all these beautiful things and, they've all of that. And the impact one has made on their lives and so on. But, you're not waiting for it, which is great freedom. So it all leads to freedom or liberation anyway. And the funny thing is, you are free. You've always been free. You remember the story we used to tell in the old days about the monkeys? They're little monkeys and they're very agile, and the only way the hunters can catch them is they bury this long-necked jar in the ground and they put some nuts in there, and the monkeys put their little arms down and they grab a fistful of nuts, and now they can't bring their hand out. They start squealing, and of course the hunters come and get them. So, but the monkeys were always free. All they had to do was to let go, and their arm would come out. And we are too. We make ourselves unfree. And so in a way we talk about freedom and liberation and all that. But there's nothing to be liberated from except your own ideas. And so it all comes back to watching the movements of the mind, being the observer, examining everything, and just saying, is this reasonable? The very, what's the word I want to use? It's a very famous small story about you're walking out in the garden, it's dark, late at night, and suddenly you see this snake, and it's kind of slithering towards you. And now there's panic, and your heart starts beating, and you're sweaty, and all that. And a wise man comes along, because in these stories, the wise man always comes along, and shines a flashlight. And it's just a piece of old rope that you threw down. Now, was there ever a snake? Only in your head. And so it's all up here. The work is here. It's not out there. You can't change the world until you sort yourself out. So it's all about freedom.